Okay, Mallow Cups, you ready to rumble? Alright, so we got the learning curve up here, and I actually want to throw up a bit of work that I just got done here. Let's see if we can get the picture in. Here, so running the character card, there's a few bits that you need, and obviously this is going to run through my Salty Rabbit Stew setups. Just get one up here, just so we have it all in context, get it all spread on the table about the learning curve here. We're going to talk about the back end after you get some of your tasks done, what it may look like in a whole new shop first day, what that'll start to get into, and packing in Bell's equality, Makowskian spaces. What is the photon, right? Where are the glue-on features of that specific photon now that you've, well, idealize the Hadron Collider to the inputs and the outputs and the hokety pokety that goes around the heat, light, and sound squeakities that come up with all this. But I'm going to get back to my Salty Rabbit Stew bits okay, hung to it. But in here, this is my ASVAB. This is what it takes to break this stuff down. And I got this new one in here for the character card, but a little different as far as your setup is concerned. Now, I might want to do this version of it. I could get more comprehensive. We could turn this into a chemistry experiment later on, as much as any economics or sociology, philosophy that goes into the ratio of those derivatives and deltas, photons, news, muse, variable vibrations at negative 273 Kelvin here. Even though it wasn't, it is at the moment. Okay, so let's just get that out of here for the second. I want to bring this up because I want this one here. When you're setting up a basic setup model, we have the push-up count, we have the regular PRT, or the regular PT, or the NPPT test. But in this learning curve for the evaluations of grooming policies, you're going to need to know their basic sit-ups, their push-ups, their run speeds, and their constitution. And here for Salty Sharps being the name, character, he's got infinity push-ups, infinity sit-ups, and he's got an infinity run set with a pass. He passed the constitution. But this is a 2-minute run. This is an 8-hour day. But this is just a 2-minute push-up, then you're right into a 2-minute sit-ups, and then right into a 2-minute run around 100. You're going to take a rope, 100 meters, mark it off, and they're going to run loops until they figure out, well, they got 5 laps or 1 laps, and we're going to start to graphic that, right? Because this is the weak force from the strong force. Now, the push-ups, sit-ups, and everything else, you'd figure, oh, really, overhead angling angle. Well, there gets to be a competitive metrics. Come on the P or the N number, me, Salty Sharps, and they're doing that test once, the push-ups, this palette setup, or just this palette, because that'll be into log 2, which way I'm going about it, or the diamonds, right, for push-ups on just graphicking Salty here, or the wide push-ups, or Camp Lejeune. Camp 1, a log 2, log camp, log Lejeune, right, log Camp Lejeune. And that's going to get you into here to when you're going to modify the sit-ups, it's going to be full sit-ups. That's your standard base test, N plus P, right? The first standards plus second standards, different variables. Crunches, cross, where you're cross crunching, and the negatives, right? We want to do negatives. What's the testing? What are we getting out of that? You know, for the run testing, you got to jump, throw up some obstacles. What's the black body radiation for the WIMP particle here? Is supposed to be ROTC about this constitution and mass. Or what does I have here? This might be a learning curve. Bell's inequality and field theory, right? We're going to get a lot of this black body problem, O-type stars, this square area, Hubble's, lensing. You know, you're going to see a whole range of spectrums over a wide variety, not just one test, or even in that one person's test, this variable to that constitution, right? So that's their stats, and we got the regular PT, but in the truth, you might not have that reality. You have a stonemason, not Salty, right? You got going on for this character of it, instead of specifically this guy's character of it, right? You know, these are kind of different. Camp Lejeune. You're going to walk in, get mod and period and Alice and Bob, and do the Gauss, get degaussed, right? Certain different wave functions to the expansion, the egrosphere, the NTF beginning, right? This card right here, when we'll shut that down because it's no longer useful. So the NTF end, those are learning curve things. It's like you're gonna learn that about this place here at the top end, that last 10%, right? You're gonna need to do the Alpha Bunny Jesus Fish for a little while inside of here in terms of the dance from Alice and Bob talking about Bowser's house, banging it out for Princess Peach in here, my man. You know, let's get that back out of here and back to the other places. I could have done other videos where I'm actually out there doing this stuff, where I'm going to take this setup right here, and we're going to run the Masons game right out of that Masons card. There's the scales. There's the timing of the setup of this. Could be the Masons game, or it could be a day. You could set this up with pallets for a PT test and only enough rocks, and then dump them off, and then we'll go round robins on studies for an hour in pallets and figure out what happens. We'll talk about the trajectory coming in fast and hard and landing where you need to do it, or going hard on optics for the geodesics, going during the day, or knowing I got 3 hours to put 3 pallets to the table. You know, what's the arc in there? I was below the line for 1-to-1, but I hit the number in terms of what I needed for the tags and the wraps. And this being the task, the pack, and is it a day? Am I set up on those? Is there another setup on these, as much as wrapping, weighing, and doing everything that's going to set to the full hour, or which bit or byte I'm loading into how this arrangement may be loaded in.
Hello friends,
so don't let this crazy, because you'll get nothing out of this for a good long little while talking about the learning curve.
In any organization.
I just wanted to come up.
Understand from when you are a child.
What exactly is Google Career Certificates? There are certificates that you can get within a period of 2 months or 6 months to help you gain in-demand skills that a lot of employers.
In the beginning, this first degree burn is a pretty good video setting up. You got to get it. You don't remember on that, but for me, comparatively,
small businesses.
I mean, even though I'm very good, and that's perfect.
Apple
Like me
Business
and him,
Essentials.
this is good.
It's one
That's my
complete subscription
friend,
that
yeah,
makes
buddy of
IT
mine. We
Apple Business Essentials.
Okay.
Start your free trial now.
Come on.
5, 4.5,
When you started to running a bicycle, when you tried to run this cycle first
So you
time,
get a lot of that learning curve, top 10%, especially into this. I was doing Thor's hammer with it. You know, you can pick up 623-3 for evaluations on this stuff. You're gonna wind up with a lot of numbers like this for your pallet counts and your cut coefficients and your models across the board, and how those setups work, because you're going to be that photo, that black body problem in the grammatics. It's also based on what they're valued through to the overall output. The wood coming through the factory on rates or wave functions. You know, it's like the number usually averages off to a decimal point, even though the rocks are done. It's a couple of different models where I've seen a lot of different lines run here, and you would see things like multi-world and universes. You would see the QED of spin flavor and stabilizing those fields semi-imperial mass, right? That's some stuff at the top end of those learning curves that you're getting into. Stoichiometric ratio right in here. Now, during the day, after you learn that base, there's just a lot of that going on here in the day. I mean, I wish I could crack you open here and show you the neural net that's going on in this this MRI in here, right? Because even though this is what I'm doing, I know I'm videotaping. I know I want to catch it. I'm trying to be super, super tight. Now, you might not notice that, but this is the regular pace that I run, because if you notice, like I said, you'd start to break that down now. Being the goal, sorry, this isn't 8-hour day. FX equals in 5 days a week for 10 hours at $15 an hour for 10,000 hours is what that is in here. So that's going to be your 10,000 hour master masonry about what that degree is about for that kind of curvature, right? Now, there's a couple of ways to look at the learning curve. It's not just this one. There's also a negative curve where we could just say, whoa, people start to learn off like that. As long as there is that version of it, there's also over these times for those types of trajectories, you would see the drop off on some of this ratio about those weird spins from actions at spooky distances because it's superposition realistically, or again that Heisenberg's multi-world and universe of, well, yes, field theory, learning curve. So this is our base model. I wanted to get that in here for what the photon may look like for somebody's gravity, for what the environment of some of the limits would look like in terms of the deltas, PSIs of that compass and square for whatever variable that you may have.
The amount of improvement decreases as more units are produced. So you see from here,
I'll catch you on the next one.
the learning curve is not